Hello, folks.
Hello,
Welcome
hello.
to the Downunder Cruises. She's Ilana.
Here's Sean.
And we are
the
Downunder Cruises. Guys, we are in lockdown, and this is the way... get rid of this. Get rid of this. She's Ilana. Okay, now I've done something else. We are the Downunder Cruises. Guys, we are in lockdown, and this is the way... give me a minute. Give me a minute, folks. Give me a minute. There we go. That killed that one. Thank goodness for that. Oh, my goodness.
Can I take this off now?
Yeah, come on. Let's do that. Coffee time.
We're in the privacy of our home. I don't think it's compulsory inside.
No.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Oof, that's better. Fresh air.
Better. Yep. Okay, so, well, hello to everybody. It's, unfortunately, we're in a lockdown circumstance, so for us to go outside in the fresh air these days, we need to be wearing masks, unfortunately. So, here we go. First of all, let me say hi to a few guys in the chat. Adventures of David and Aaron, you are first up. Welcome aboard.
Wow, welcome. First cab off the rank.
First cab off the rank. And then us and more, welcome on board. Rachel loves Disney. Now, Rachel, you asked a question. You said earlier on, you know what the animal is in the thumbnail. And yes, it is a Tassie devil. So well done. Congratulations. Sailing away with TNK. G'day, guys. How are you? Welcome on board. Let's have a look. See who else is there. MGM Travels. Welcome on board. No, it's not a honey badger. Nice try. It is the Tasmanian devil.
Or you might be talking about this person.
What, the honey badger? Me?
Are you the honey badger?
That depends. Rachel was saying good morning to us, so that's good. Here we go. We've got another one on board. Jeremy's Arc Vlogs. How are you, guys? How are you, mate? Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Nice to see you here. We've got Lucy at MGM. Welcome on board, Lucy. How you doing? Let's see. A bit of hellos going on there. We've got a strange character here called Ilana Ornelas. Welcome. The Malcolm. How are you, Malcolm? Wonder what the crew have for us today? Yep, I wonder too.
We'll have to wait and see what's in store. I saw Plump Travellers earlier.
Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Oh, hang on, this has gone way. Oh, and our guests are about to come on board there. So, folks, give us a moment. Let's just welcome them in.
We've got a couple of special guests in today.
Some special guests. Hi there, guys. This is Frank and Ilana from Lifewell Cruise coming on board with us. How are you guys?
Welcome.
Hi, we are good. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're good.
Very well, thank you. We're enjoying our traditional brunch coffee that we share every Saturday at this time.
So I hope you guys have brought in a drink.
Yeah, I got a coffee too.
Nice to see you in our place today.
Pardon me?
Nice to see you two in our place today.
Yes, very much. Nice to see you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
How was your time traveling to get here?
Pretty cool, I think. It's 10 o'clock at night, but yet we're
in the future.
We're in the future. It's amazing.
You are. It is midday and the sun is shining.
And no COVID restrictions or anything. No border patrols, no passports, and here you are.
Yeah, that's true. It's an easy way to travel. If only we could cruise this way. Well, I don't know, but
nice.
Folks, we're just running through the chat very quickly just to see who's on board with us today. So if you hang on 2 seconds, we were just talking to, we were just welcoming on board Malcolm from, Malcolm's in New Zealand in a place called Christchurch. So he's wondering what we've got on today. Who else?
Hi, Malcolm.
Just having a look there. There's a
I'm sure.
Sailing away with TNK is making a comment there. It feels like he's at work. Take off the mask, please. Yeah, we did.
We started with our masks on because it's compulsory as of 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have actually the same thing here now. It's mandatory in all public places that we have to wear a mask. We can take it off if we are eating, then we can take it off, or like if we're sitting down.
Have your cases spiked recently, or has this been sort of an ongoing thing?
No.
2 weeks ago also.
Well, a little bit. Yeah. On the most part, actually, it's gone down and it's fairly controlled. We have small little spikes, like when they opened up the bars. There was like, I think like at a couple of bars in our area, there were some small outbreaks. I don't even know if they would be called outbreaks, but there were some people reported
spikes,
to have it.
It's pretty much.
I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Then people like would go get tested. They'd close the bar for a couple of days, and then people were more careful. Like they did put in more stringent regulations, but it's only since this past Monday that everybody is absolutely required to wear a mask.
Right. Guys, you
and
seem,
we're okay with it. You know what? Like
you seem to be fading in and out. Okay, I think you've got a bit of buffering going on there. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I hope it works now.
Okay.
Just very quickly while we fix that up, I'll just continue through the chat very quickly. We've got on board Brianna Elizabeth. Welcome on board. Our accents are always gorgeous. We don't have any, everybody else does, but thanks for that.
Hi, Larry. Larry was higher up, but
was
we need
he?
to say good morning to Plump Travellers, Larry.
Where is he?
Towards the top.
And Puppy the Cat's in as
well.
well.
Puppy the Cat's joined us again. Fantastic.
G'day, Puppy the Cat.
Puppy.
Welcome on board.
Hello.
There's Najuma Brown. Hi, Najuma. Welcome on board to our channel.
It's nice to see people coming back, isn't it?
Yep, it is. It is.
Great.
Okay, where is he?
And
I'll fix him up later.
Ilana Cantor's in today.
Is Ilana welcome aboard?
3 Ilanas today. That's a bit
confusing.
Yeah, it is. It is. Okay.
There she is.
Just looking through the chat really quickly. Okay. So now Malcolm is trying to be smart and say that the Aussies tried to steal the New Zealand accent. Truth of the matter is the New Zealanders tried to steal the Aussie accent and refine it.
I see.
It's a bit like the Canadian accent versus the US accent, right? Well, I would say it is an accident.
Well, yeah, it depends. There's a lot of regional accents.
Malcolm was trying to be smart and say he didn't know there were that many Ilanas in the world.
Well, there are plenty.
I know, right? I have only actually, I know 2 other Ilanas spelled either the same or similarly in my area, but I have not met very many.
Oh, I've met plenty.
Really? Ilanas with eyes, eh?
Yes.
Okay, it's not very common here.
Really common here.
So, guys, what do you? Let's just get started on talking about you guys and life in Canada and so forth. First of all, how did you guys meet?
Oh, we actually, so we're married 27 years.
Yeah.
We'll be married 28 years in August, which seems crazy. But so it's a super long time ago. We met then 30 years ago, and we met at a bar that doesn't exist anymore in the area where we live. So we kind of met and then we hit it off and we
we didn't see each other for a few months, right? Like it was
a
few weeks, a couple of months.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then we met up again, and then from there it was.
Yeah, and then and then we got engaged, and then we got married. And now that's 27, almost 28 years ago.
Yeah. So what do you guys do with your spare time, as in when you're not cruising?
So being completely honest, we spend a ton of time. You know, I have a blog, right? Like my website. So I do spend. I work. We both work, but I spend hours. I wake up early in the morning and I do work on my website, and then in the evening time I do that as well, and all the things that go along with it. And so it's kind of like a hobby and a little bit of a side kind of business. And then at the same time, I guess Frank edits the videos and stuff like that. We take care of our lawn. We're trying to work on that.
So
Yeah.
tell us about Life Well Cruised. What is it all about? How did it start? And what is it all about?
Oh, you're so sweet. Okay. So I started Life Well Cruised now 2 years ago in March. So it's a little bit longer than 2 years ago. And really, it kind of got started because I would look at blogs, and I would, like, if I was researching going on a cruise, I would research excursions or areas to go, cruise ships, and I would read different people's blogs. And then it occurred to me when I went on another one of our cruises, it occurred to me when we came back, I was like on the computer on Pinterest, and I looked and I noticed at the very top that the person had said, this post is like sponsored by, and I think it was Princess Cruises actually. Yeah. And they said, you know, even though Princess paid for my cruise, all of my opinions are my own. And I went, oh, they paid them for a cruise. And I said, I can write better than that. And I'm not sure I really can, but that was my thought. And then I came home and I told him, I said, I think I'm going to start a blog, but it was actually a lot harder than that. So, and nobody's given us any free cruises, which is totally fine. But but that's really
truth of the matter is, I wouldn't want a free cruise because I don't think I would enjoy it as much as if I paid for it.
No,
that's just my opinion.
Well, the way I see it now, though, is, and I guess I saw it differently at the time, is that if somebody is going on a cruise and they're actually covering things and doing different things, that they're providing information, the way I see it is they're kind of providing value. So I don't see it as anymore. So, but it doesn't bother me not to have it, you know, comped or whatever, because then the time is really our own and then we decide what we do with it.
Absolutely. Hey, just going back in the chat very quickly, Brianna Elizabeth was saying that Ilana needs to teach her how to have an accent.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shock.
Bit worried about that.
Just to say hi to Q's Cruises. Welcome on board. Let's see. T&K. Sitting a little too far.
No more. That's it. Close the door.
His head will explode. Just too many.
Jeez. Where was I? The chat jumped up really quickly. Okay, so there we are. We're back there. Let me see. Robert White, welcome on board. Robert, baseball is back, albeit with no fans. Well, Aussie Rules Footy is back, albeit with no fans as well. Us and Moore was saying wow to the 28 years of marriage. So that's congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. Almost 28. Yeah.
Pretty good going.
Well, we're young.
Talking about Ilana Cantor's having a bit of a chat with Heather at Us and More.
So how many, Ilana and Frank, how many cruises have you been on altogether?
Yeah, we're trying to, about 21 cruises, I think now.
I think it was 24.
24?
I think it was 24, the last
I lost
one
count
that
there,
we're on.
I don't know.
23 or 24.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's an interesting thing. Sailing away with T&K, they're talking about 28 years, just 27 more years until TJ and Kayla hit that. So that's great. But here's the interesting thing. Kayla has actually done 22 cruises.
Amazing.
Has TJ done, I think, one, didn't he say, or none? I can't remember.
Malcolm's asking the question, where in Canada are Life Well Cruise? So where in Canada are you guys based?
We're in Montreal.
So, yeah, in Montreal, in a suburb, but in Montreal, Quebec. So a French province.
French?
Yeah, it's the French province in Canada,
So you guys are bilingual, right?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, we are.
So Malcolm is saying wife and he are 38 years in October married.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Very nice.
I see that. Wow. 20 and 19.
Very young to get married.
We got Danny from the Griswold family vacay. Welcome on board. And folks, we're chatting with Life Well Cruise, Frank and Ilana from Life Well Cruise. So that's what you have stumbled into. Frank and Ilana don't know what's going to hit them later on as we go through. Oh, no. It's okay.
No.
You guys say, Q's Cruises say, wow, 28 years, congrats.
Thank you very much.
See what happens when you come on board. You don't know who you're going to get and what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Oh, Larry's saying, woohoo, another Canadian.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yes.
Yes, Larry. Larry's actually at Powell River.
Powell River.
So where is that, Powell River?
Oh, we'll let Larry explain.
We'll let Larry
that.
explain. It's somewhere on the map. I'm not exactly sure where.
Okay, I'm going to have just a guess.
River.
Is it Alberta? They'll have to tell me if it's in Alberta or not. I am terrible with my Canadian geography. I unfortunately have not traveled a lot in Canada.
Something west.
Apparently, where he is when the Alaska ships go up, he can actually see them from his front doorstep, kinda.
Oh, beautiful. Nice.
Doesn't he drive to the ferry to go to Vancouver Island?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
He'll explain.
So in the Vancouver area.
So he's a lucky man.
Yeah, we're on the other side.
Beautiful where he is.
Larry's a lucky man. He just booked another cruise in January of 2022. I'm hazarding a guess that we'll be looking at doing pretty much similar stuff. I don't think cruising is going to happen this year. What do you think?
2020, I don't think it's looking good. I think it's very sad, but I think right now it's not looking very positive. I think 2021 it seems like there's a good chance that could happen, but a lot can happen between now and in a few months from now.
Yep, absolutely. Malcolm is saying to you guys, favorite place to cruise is Canada.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yes, question. What is your favorite place to cruise to?
Well,
Oh yeah.
Which favorite place? Probably, well, we have a few favorite places, but one of our favorites that we return to often is Bermuda.
Yeah.
We just love Bermuda. It's like, for us, it's kind of like almost going like to a homey kind of place. We
It's
just
kind of our home away from home now.
yeah, so we've been to Bermuda on a cruise 7
it's a
times.
beautiful island.
But we love the Caribbean.
Yeah, the Caribbean is our vacation, and then I think going back to the Mediterranean would probably be
In terms
something
of
we'd love to do a lot.
and
you know what, guys? You talk about places like Bermuda as being places you love to go. That's our bucket list.
Well, for us though, and I think I've told you before, the idea of going to Australia and New Zealand is on our bucket list.
Right.
Like, it's just being on, opposite sides of the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds
And Bermuda is
more
really convenient for us because we just go to it's just a drive to New York City. It's about 6 hours away, and then from there we just take the cruise across to Bermuda. So it's very convenient.
Yeah, it's one of the easy ones for us.
Yeah,
that's like our easy summer cruise.
Right.
Awesome.
Lucky.
Just back into the chat again. Welcome to Jenna's Pattis Cruising Channel. Welcome aboard. She's saying hi to Larry at Plum Cruises. Now, hang on a second. I had an answer for you from Larry. Oh, there it is.
Oh, great.
Larry says Powell River is north of Vancouver, BC, on the Sunshine Coast.
Okay,
nice.
Great.
Very nice.
Hopefully we'll be there. We were actually hoping to go to Alaska this summer, and of course, like everybody, our cruise was canceled, so that wasn't meant to be. But we're hoping to be able to get to Vancouver too.
Yeah,
it's almost getting to the point where you ask the question: who's got tickets? Who's got the more cruises canceled?
Oh yeah, you can have a bingo game or something with that. Yeah, maybe a drinking game.
Yeah, that's right. Us and more say to Jenna's Patters, we're doing pretty good, all things considered. All things considered, they just had a live stream, and that was an interesting live. Let me see. Q's Cruises, is the Casino del Hull still there?
Oh, probably. We don't go. But the Hull Casino, is it still there?
Hull,
yeah.
Quebec. I don't know.
Yeah, like in the
Probably,
Gatineau area.
I would imagine so.
It probably is, because I think casinos are profitable for the government. So I think that it would be, but the Montreal casino is still here. That's closer for us. So most people would go to the Montreal casino.
John Travellers is saying, Larry's saying, by the way, Montreal is his second favorite Canadian city.
Oh, that's great.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Now, truth be known, Larry would say that about every Canadian. No, he wouldn't.
Yeah.
Welcoming on board also Raphael from Visos Travel. Yeah.
Hola, Rafael.
Hi, Raphael.
I could do the welcome YouTube, but I won't. TJ is saying that he wants to go to Bermuda so bad. I guess we're all. I don't know if you guys would agree, but we're all having containment illness, I reckon, because there's nothing better that we would want to be doing than sitting on a ship going somewhere.
Yeah,
absolutely. Even
at this stage.
Yeah, even planning something. At one point I told Frank, I said, I don't even need to go somewhere. Like, even if my cruise is canceled, if I knew other people were going somewhere in September, it would make me feel better. Like, I can live vicariously a little bit. I can plan my own, but it's definitely discouraging. But I know this will pass. It's just a matter of when.
And that's one of the fantastic things about this particular forum, because we're able to communicate with people around the world, and we're able to fill in some of that void. Okay, we're not sitting on the ship drinking pina coladas, but hey, we're actually experiencing other people's experiences, and that's awesome, I think.
Yeah, I agree. It is great.
Yeah. We can share places and stories and bucket lists and all sorts of things, which is nice. As you say, we travel vicariously through others.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah.
We just heard earlier on this morning, I think it was this morning or yesterday, that Princess had started cancelling cruises up through until November almost. So, I think in their mind, they're actually going to say, let's make 2020 just like Deck 13 on a ship.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that's where they're heading.
Well, Princess, in the North American cruises, most of them, it's December 15th. And my understanding is there's a few in Australia that are starting up in early November, if I'm not mistaken, potentially. No. But definitely the ones that are like the Caribbean and the Panama Canal, those are all canceled till at least December 15th right now. I was a little surprised, to be honest, that they did such a far away date. I was, I'm not saying that's a bad thing to do, but I was surprised that they went so far. And I know Carnival has said right now that does not mean that they are not going to be sailing. So I'm not really sure what their plan is.
So in terms of Australia, our state has been locked down because we've had some issues. And they are talking about other states in the area also getting locked down, possibly like New South Wales, which is on our border.
And that's Sydney Harbour. So Sydney will be shut down.
Yep. And then and basically no aircraft are flying out on regular scheduled flights.
Yeah, Qantas is not doing international flights, at least until mid next year.
Wow, even for flights.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, our flights are still we actually, like, for the United States, our border, we're only about 45 minutes from the United States border, like where we live, but our borders have been closed to driving through. So we have not been able to, not that we normally would just drive to through to the border to go anywhere unless we were really going on vacation, but our borders are actually closed. And but you could fly, like we could actually fly from Montreal to Florida. We just can't drive there, or we could fly to New York, and then we can fly to resorts in Mexico, but we can't cruise there.
We've been hearing about that. That's crazy stuff, because from our point of view, if I wanted to go from our home here in Melbourne to Sydney, we'd have to go through a border check.
Wow.
And be turned around and stopped.
Yeah.
Wow. I guess you guys, it's more strict even than it is here.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, we've had to. I mean, we're now in rates of having 300 people every day. coming down
cases.
with COVID. So it's
It was sort of contained, and then we had pockets of community transmissions, which is spread. And, so yeah.
So Ilana Cantor is saying, I wish I could travel. There's no travel for us Aussies until the end of the year at least, and she's pretty well close to being right. Ilana Cantor actually is a Disney nut.
Wow.
Every last minute she will talk about going off to Disneyland and
Disney World in particular.
Disney World and this place
World
Disney and that thing
Orlando,
Disney, and
she loves it. And her girls.
She's trying to nail us into going to Disney as well. We thought, why not kill two birds with one stone? Let's see if she'll go on a Disney cruise. But
does Ilana go on Disney cruises? Ilana, do you go on Disney cruise or just Disney World?
No, she just goes to Disney World. She hasn't been on a cruise at all.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She has been.
She's done a P&O.
She did a P&O.
Oh, okay.
A local P&O.
And P&O Australia is not like P&O UK.
No.
Okay. I don't know. I've never been on P&O.
No. There was one there. Robert White is busy talking to Malcolm, and he's saying, yes, Malcolm, but I know only 2 cities in New Zealand. Canada is huge. They might as well say North America. We always say the state, at least. Well, I wouldn't call Canada a state of the US, just like I would call New Zealand a state of Australia, but I'm going to just stop right there before Malcolm jumps up and down.
Frank and Ilana, you may not be aware, but New Zealand, Kiwis and Aussies, we have a playful love-hate relationship. We consider New Zealand to be a state of Australia, but I don't think the Kiwis.
Okay.
We are, and they consider us.
No, I don't. I would not say that.
They're Western Island.
Not to be the same.
With the US?
With the US, they do not consider us to be a state of the US,
no,
we would not consider ourselves. I love Americans, and we have a lot of American cousins, but no, we have a different culture.
Oh, very much.
I've just been slammed over the knuckles with this one. Lana Candle's saying, who are you calling a nut? Nut. Well, it's true. You are crazy about Disney, so that's why I'm going to call you a nut.
That's awesome.
Larry is calling you a new sunscrubber.
A new submarine.
Yeah.
Oh, great. That's good to hear. We don't use the S word here. Life well cruised.
I'm probably not getting what you mean. Sorry.
Okay.
Press, I didn't get the joke.
Press the red button.
So when people join up as
the yes
we
word.
don't use YouTube don't like the word to be used.
True?
Yes, so we don't say.
But they've got it everywhere. So
you're a new friend. You've just got some new submarines.
Oh, you could have maybe a paper that says it.
You could.
I didn't know that. Okay. Well, I'll tell you later.
Yeah. JNN Travels pops in. Hello, just popping in for a time check. Okay. 10:27. We are sitting on 12:30 here right now. Now, you want to go to Disney? Off you go, buddy. We'll follow you along.
Disney have a regular time with them.
Yep. Anyway, back to you guys. Enough of this chat that's going on.
Yeah.
I know that because I've made it to the end of the chat anyway. So.
Okay.
What's Malcolm's? Ilana and Frank. I know that you've said, or Ilana, I've heard you. Yes, you wish you'd love to come to Australia and New Zealand. Now we've got Malcolm here from New Zealand, and he's just telling us that he's dropped some sheep off at the gate.
Good on you. The land of the great white cloud.
So tell me, what do you know about Australia?
Or
New Zealand?
Well, I think we know that the animals are very different.
Yeah.
Right? You used to tell me that's the reason you wanted to go to Australia.
Yeah, I'd like to go to Australia one day. What do we know about Australia?
I don't think we know very much. I mean, we obviously know about Sydney and how beautiful that is.
And I heard there's nice beaches.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that specifically.
There's supposed to be some very nice beaches.
Oh, yes. Beautiful beaches.
Yeah.
And I've seen the landscape of New Zealand looked absolutely beautiful. It just seems like it would be very different.
The outback, right?
New Zealand is stunning. It is beautiful.
Yes.
Not to give Malcolm a big head, but it is beautiful.
And I think
we did a cruise around New Zealand. It was actually our honeymoon cruise. And it really was with the sounds. If you go through Fiordlands into Milford Sound and Dusky Sound, it is just stunning, really beautiful.
Yeah, so I think that is all, and just the fact that it's so very different from what we live here. You know, everything about it. So that would just be very interesting. Yeah. It's just one of the.
So this is the big throw for you guys. When you come out for Christmas and you're already rugged up because it's freezing cold. You get on the ship and your plane or whatever, you come here and you're stripping off because it's boiling hot and you're on the beach.
Having a barbecue.
Having a barbecue for Christmas, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's one of the big things that gets people all topsy-turvy, shall we say. Just back into the chat there, Rayleigh Creative. Hey, Blaine, welcome on board. Late as usual, welcome on board. Who else is there? Malcolm is giving his 2 cents worth. The difference between, and Malcolm can't spell anyway, the difference between Australia and New Zealand animals that can kill you. Yes, we do. New Zealand don't.
Yeah, that I would not like. I'd like to, I'll stay away from the animals maybe then.
Look, people have it really, it is actually a misconception. We haven't lived in Australia all our lives, but certainly the majority of certainly my life, I have lived overseas for a number of years, but I have never seen a snake or a funnel web or a deadly spider or a shark.
You haven't been looking in the ocean.
No, I'm not looking properly.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
I don't intend to either.
That's right.
Any of those things.
Yeah, but then you don't. Well, yes, you do go into the ocean. You do swim occasionally.
I have swum with seals and dolphins, but in the bay, and I haven't come across a shark. Now, the one thing about New Zealand, though, is that there are no snakes in New Zealand.
That's so interesting that it's close by and there's no snakes.
But then they do have some strange animals like the kiwi bird or the cacao.
Yes.
Cool.
Have to look
We tend to feature, last week we featured some animals and we showed a video of a flightless parrot of New Zealand having relations on the head of a cameraman. Gorgeous.
Oh my God.
Stephen Fry did it.
Do you know Stephen Fry, the English raconteur and actor?
No, not really. I think I've heard the name before, but not.
No. So, what have you got there that could kill us if we came to Canada?
Probably the bears.
Maybe the bears, yeah.
The bears could, but you're really like not in bear country in the city.
Not here, anyways.
No,
once you get further north.
Yeah, I think you'd be more likely to get killed possibly by a driver while you're crossing the street. That would be in Montreal in particular. Yeah, you got to be a little bit careful.
Yeah.
So more the humans more than anything else.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite place in Canada? What would you recommend if we were to come for our first time? Where would you take us, for example?
Okay, so Canada though is really big. Like I think somebody had said before too, that Canada is really large, despite the fact that we have, I think, about 38 million people, which is significantly smaller than the United States in population. We are the same size approximately of land. So, you couldn't really see all of Canada, so you'd have to kind of choose. We live in the eastern part of Canada, so I think Montreal and Quebec City, I think, are like, Quebec City, I think, is one of the most beautiful, charming places that I've ever been.
It's got that European flair to it.
Yeah,
yeah,
very
nice.
Beautiful, very calm and quiet. In it, very different from Montreal, despite being 3 hours away. When you walk down the street in the evening time, you can have maybe an accordion player that's playing music, and people almost whisper as they walk there. It's not loud. It's very calm and quiet, and artists on the street, and it's just very beautiful. The architecture is very old, but also they have a lot of beautiful lighting. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So we like Quebec City. Montreal is fun. Montreal is the fun place to be. That's where we live. But although we don't live in the city,
it's multicultural. Very nice.
Yeah, and we like it that it's multicultural. It feels like a small Boston or a small New York or something. Yeah. We have never been to the Maritimes. That is on our.
When I was not together.
When you were young.
Yeah, when I was a child.
Yeah. So he's been.
Which is beautiful though.
And the Maritimes are, when people do a Canada-New England cruise, that's the area that they'd be going. That's actually on our short-term wish list.
Yeah.
It would be easy for us to do, but that we'd like to do, to see like Peggy's Cove and some areas there. We have heard Vancouver is just beautiful.
Western Canada.
So we would like to see it, but we've never been ourselves.
I don't know if you guys can see in the bottom of the chat there, but Larry has been agreeing with you and putting in.
Oh, I haven't seen.
So he agrees, and now he's got on their buskers.
Oh, what is buskers? Oh, in Montreal, the buskers? Is that what we mean?
I guess that's what he's busy talking about.
Yeah.
And Robert White's put in some comments about Canada. Just go down a bit.
Yeah, Robert White says 85% of Canada's population lives within 100 miles of the US.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's right.
Yeah. Well, that's where the weather is not too bad, right? Like, I mean,
the population all along the, in the southern part of Canada, basically.
Yeah, because otherwise it's already really cold where we live. It's much colder than New York, despite the fact that we're only 6 hours or so north
once you go
driving.
North, there's just less and less population.
Yeah, it's just too cold. I mean, you could live there. There are people that do.
Yeah.
We have a similar situation, probably more the opposite, not the cold, but the heat.
Yeah.
About 80% of our population lives on the coast.
Yeah.
We're mild. And as you can see behind us, there's Uluru in the centre, our red centre. Because it's all desert and drought and
just a quick one in the chat here. Blaine from Rally Creative Travel is pointing out that there's 22 people in the house, which is fantastic. What I would be asking is that of those 22, how many of you have actually done a like or actually joined our crew, come aboard our crew by pressing the red button at the bottom? Let's see what else there is. Larry's talking about the street performers.
Oh, yeah. Aren't they fun?
Yeah.
We like the street performers, especially actually in old Montreal. And like the different people, the magicians, or like the people doing caricature and stuff. We find it's a lot of fun.
Now, which is the one of the port city in Canada that's got it's the port itself. It looks like they've got the white sails.
That may be Vancouver, I think.
Vancouver,
because I don't think.
Yeah, I think.
To my knowledge.
Yeah, is it Larry that's from near Vancouver?
Larry.
Larry might be able to
say.
I've been told by someone who's been there that it's very, very similar to Melbourne, where we are.
Yeah.
It's got a very Melbourne vibe to it. And it looks gorgeous too.
Just as a matter of interest, guys, what are your classes cold? What's the temperature there now today?
Well, today before the humidex, it would be about 27 degrees Celsius.
Well, today went as high as 30.
It went as high as 30, and then including the humidex, was it about 34?
30, yeah, about that.
About 34. We add a humidex, the humidity factor, to our temperature. So that was pretty hot. I don't know. For us, that's hot weather.
Hot, yeah.
Yeah,
We're
I
going
love
through
it.
a heat wave right
Yeah.
now. Tomorrow's, I think, it's supposed to reach closer to 35 or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But
Although I don't think everywhere in the world does that humidity factor, and I don't know why we do it here, but
we started that a few years ago, I think.
yeah. But in any case, so I find like when they say, let's say it's 27, but it feels like 35.
yes.
We'll go somewhere and we're like, no, 27 doesn't feel like 35. When you're in the shade, it doesn't feel like it. So I don't think it's really as hot as that. In the winter time, though, it can be much, much
It's the
colder.
opposite.
It'll go like, because your winter is now, but
we go down to minus
20 is easily like a regular
sometimes
kind of
colder
day
than
in
that.
January.
And then you have a windshield factor
February.
too. So
Yeah, it can be like minus 20 to minus 30 in January, February, March.
you can
It's
go for
miserable.
like 2-3 weeks of that sometimes. Every year.
Oh
it's
no,
different.
but we'll have months though of minus 15 and
the
minus
winter
20.
is month, but then we'll go through those really cold spells
really cold,
for a few weeks. But every year is different. Even this year, I think we're having more heat.
This summer.
Like heat waves this summer compared to last year.
It's the only good thing about this COVID year is having a hot summer.
Yeah.
our overnight last night was 2 degrees, and our maximum is supposed to be around 14. So
that's like our early spring or our fall.
Yeah,
is like that.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be too bad for us. We would find that
our
temperate.
Winters, they were like that, would be great.
Yeah, we would like that probably.
It's bearable if it's dry.
Yeah.
So without chilling wind.
Where do you guys go for cruising? Like when, say you just want to do some kind of vacation cruise, how do you do that?
So for you guys, you've got all these all this choice there, Bermuda and all that sort of stuff. For us, cruising for us is we're either cruising to New Zealand or the South Pacific. So we'll go to places like Fiji, Vanuatu, New Caledonia.
Gorgeous.
But then we've also got nearby, we've got Asia fairly close. So cruising to.
So these are like 7-day cruises, or how does just?
There are short cruises. There are like 3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
To Tasmania. You could go from Melbourne to Tasmania.
Yeah.
Back.
Or Melbourne to Adelaide, or Melbourne to some other Australian city and back.
That's not too far away.
That's not too far away. But essentially, if you wanted to do any cruising anywhere, our average is about 14 days.
Okay.
Really? So they're longer generally.
It takes so long to get anywhere.
Yeah.
That you make it worth your while.
So nice. Can you cruise, when you want to do an Asian cruise, where would you leave from?
That depends, because sometimes you can get cruises going out of Sydney that'll take you up to Darwin, and then from there straight up to wherever you wanted to be in which Asian city.
You'd probably from Darwin, which is the Northern Territory. So you'd go pretty much straight up, because Darwin's probably the closest point to Southeast Asia.
Okay.
Or there may be some cruises where you could go from Sydney up the East Coast, around Cape York, down and across, and then go up to Asia.
Very nice.
Ah, beautiful.
Because Hong Kong would be spectacular. I've been to Hong Kong, but not on a ship, and the harbour is spectacular. That would be brilliant, sailing into Hong Kong harbour.
We've got.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
Back into the chat again. We've got Philip Rackman on board. Hi there, Philip. Welcome on board, buddy. Use a cruise around Australia, Kangaroo Island, etc. Yeah, those are awesome.
Eden's a little fishing village. Beautiful place. Just before Sydney. And it's gorgeous there.
Yep.
Can I just say, Papa Mozo's in the house too.
Oh, good on you.
Which is nice to see. It's been a bit remiss of us. We haven't mentioned our brunch menu.
Oh, yes.
This late in our live. Can we mention our brunch menu?
Yeah, let's go on. Let's do it.
We must mention our brunch menu, as we always do every week. We usually offer a classic Aussie dish. And this week, our Aussie classic brunch menu is
Well, I thought we'd go with the cherry ripe.
All right. Well, we'll start with the classic Aussie chocolate. Very the cherry ripe.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Hang on.
I'll bring up the other one.
That will be after the healthy things.
Oh, you want the healthy things. Always with the healthy things. Always with the healthy things. There we go.
So, there's our brunch menu is the classic Aussie smashed avocado with feta cheese on toast with a poached egg.
That actually looks quite good. I didn't know that would have been Australian.
Oh, it's very popular here.
Especially the word avo, you know, Aussies like to shorten everything.
That's our abbreviated version of avocado.
Really?
We abbreviate every word.
Really?
Yes.
A few.
Just going back into the chat for a second, Philip mentioned that he'd sailed from Shanghai last year.
Oh, wow.
Brilliant.
He went even before 2020 and he did not recommend it.
Oh, no?
Okay.
I'd be interested to know, Philip, I did a land tour of China and it was the most interesting and incredible place, very eye-opening, and so far was, I think, for me, the most interesting place I've been to.
Adventures of David and Aaron are talking about Fiji sounding nice.
Don't get me started on Fiji.
Look, Fiji has a special place in Ilana's
for
heart.
me, because I grew up in Fiji, in Suva, so that's a special place for me.
Now,
Mozo, welcome.
Papa Mozo's.
Welcome,
We've got a thing here. Papa Mozo, you have to be up in 4 hours.
That, yes.
You must go. You know what, Papa? It was great having you on board. Glad you came in to greet us and say hi. But if you've got to be up early, we understand. So have a safe trip to wherever you're going.
Have a safe journey. And yes, we are in front of Uluru, as Papa Mozo always knows where we are.
Yep.
Or Ayers Rock.
Larry was busy thinking about my stomach again. Look, that looked.
Is that the cherry ripe or the smashed avocado? I know what Larry likes.
Yeah. What?
I think it'll be the.
How do you know what Larry likes?
Oh, I know he likes his. I think he likes his chocolate.
Oh, okay. The thing about the cherry ripe, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but the thing about it is the cherries in there can ferment, so it does become an alcoholic drop.
Mobbed in beautiful dark chocolate. Mm.
What else have we got here?
There was a couple of questions about Australia just down below.
Down below where? You find it.
Oh.
Welcome to Adventures of David and Aaron. I know that it's an iconic place, but there are better places in Australia. Yeah.
Okay, that's cruising. I think that's related to cruising out of Sydney Harbour,
yep.
Which is actually very beautiful. It is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, there's the question. Cruising out of Sydney Harbour is definitely on the list.
The harbour is gorgeous, yes.
It is.
But there's a lot more to Sydney than just the harbour. So we think Melbourne's beautiful, very colonial. And
wow.
The elder statesman, I think, of Melbourne, of Australia, to me, is Melbourne.
Now, having said that, Melbourne was the capital of Australia in just at the start of 1900.
Before Federation.
Before Federation, when Canberra became the capital.
Mm.
So there's always been this rivalry between Melbourne and Sydney, and Sydney think they're the best, but us Melbourneites know
the truth, though, right?
Yeah.
Yes, so Melbourne's the fashion and food capital of Australia. And yep.
I have to tell you, we watched a TV show on Netflix. You guys have Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we watched it on Netflix, and it was an Australian TV show. Was it 2 seasons that we watched? It was called Secret City. Did you see this?
Oh, no.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if you like it or not. So check that out and let me know. But when you said Adelaide, because they talked about certain things, and I think Canberra,
that was the capital, right?
Yeah.
So
Canberra, the capital.
So each state has its own capital. So the capital of Victoria, our state, is Melbourne. The capital of South Australia is Adelaide. And Adelaide is actually what we call the city of churches. It's actually very pretty. The capital of Western Australia is Perth. The capital of Queensland is Brisbane. The capital of New South Wales is Sydney. And then we've got the Northern Territory, which was originally part of South Australia. It is now an independent state on its own. And the capital there is Darwin. Then we've got Tasmania. The capital there is Hobart. And then we've got the federal capital is an area called the ACT, which is the Australian Capital Territory, where Canberra is. And that actually sits in the middle of New South Wales. Then we have another island just a little bit to our east, and that's called New Zealand. And the capital of that island is Wellington. Oops,
now you have different weather, I think, depending on from one coast to the next, right? Like from east to west or whatever.
We've got tropical north.
Yeah.
Which is northwest Queensland or far north Queensland. We've got rainforest, it's very tropical, the Barrier Reef, etc. Then we've got Darwin, which is also very tropical. You've got your typical humid days and early evening thunder and lightning storms, which is very typical of tropical weather. Right. West Australia is very hot and dry.
Puppy the cat asks, does Australia have to import a lot of food products? In actual fact, Australia grows quite a bit of its own, but yes, we do import a fair bit.
Which is a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame.
Because of our land size, you'd think that we'd be able to certainly grow more, produce more.
Are you a diver, Frank?
No, I'm not.
Because David here from Adventures of David and Aaron is, and just as a hint, the Great Barrier Reef is a beautiful place to go diving.
Incredible.
Wow.
Malcolm putting his 2 cents worth that the cherry ripe is very average. You know what? I might agree with that to some extent.
Yeah, but it is an Aussie icon.
Yeah, absolutely. Oops.
Kim's.
We've got Kim from Two Traveling Tour here. Hi there, Kim. Welcome aboard.
And we'll be tuning in after us. They're on live for the late night chat show.
Let's see. Well, that's the end of that side of that chat. So, where's good diving in Canada?
We do not dive, so I wouldn't even know.
I would imagine maybe on the West Coast, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if people dive much in Canada.
It's too bloody cold, right?
It's probably too cold. The oceans are cold.
Yeah, I think people that are Canadian would go to the United States or to Mexico to dive or other places. Yeah, because in North America, it wouldn't be very far to go to other places. Yeah, I don't think Canada would be a big diving place. Skiing?
Skiing is bigger.
Banff, where's a good place to ski?
Hockey is the big thing.
So besides Banff, where's a good place to ski?
Well, here locally too, we have some hills.
Yeah, we have some mountains, like ski small resorts. Mountains, I guess, in comparison to Banff.
Nice one, about 2 hours outside of Montreal.
Yeah, it's beautiful in the summer too. It's Mont-Tremblant.
Yeah.
Beautiful in the summertime, gorgeous in the fall with the leaves, and in the wintertime, it's very good skiing. And there's a lot of small mountains, I would say, for skiing. We actually don't really ski, but that is where
we're not big winter people.
We don't like the winter.
We don't like the winter.
People are surprised to know that we actually have ski resorts and snow.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. I don't think I realized that.
We have the Snowy Mountains, the Great Australia Dividing Range, and we have the Snowy Mountains. We have some fabulous resorts.
Wow.
Oh, it must be
ski?
I have in the past, yes. A place called Mount Buller.
I've got two very big skis. They are my backside as I roll down the hill.
Yeah.
Larry's saying on the west coast of Canada is lots of diving.
Okay, that's what I would have thought. If anywhere in Canada, it would be on the west coast in the Pacific Ocean. But
yeah, but it's good though. At least Larry knew.
Yeah, you probably know more about Canada than we do.
Well, you know, it's where you go and what you do.
Yeah.
Philip is saying we should be watching the diving in Tokyo today.
The Olympics should have been starting.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, yesterday I think would have been the opening ceremony. Yes, it's a shame. Oh well, next year.
Next year.
Fingers.
A very weird year. I think when we look back on it, maybe we'll either have learned some lessons or we'll see some positives that come out of it. But right now, it's difficult to see so many things being canceled and everything that's going on. But I'm sure when we look back, something will have come out of this that has been positive. I just don't know that we can see it yet.
Do you think it's going to be the end of the self-serve buffet?
Yeah, I think
so.
It's the end of the self-serve buffet. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think it's the end of the buffet. I think
just a self-serve.
Yeah, because we've actually been on cruises before. Well, my parents have actually been on a cruise where there was a norovirus outbreak on a princess cruise.
So great.
Okay. Yeah. And they just stopped the self-service and it became full service. And actually my parents were a little bit annoyed at the time because my mother said it's so much nicer to pick your own fruits. She didn't like that the fruits were behind the counter. But I said, but Mommy, you're like not getting the norovirus. So that's the upside, you know? Like, and they didn't. They were fine, and they had a Mediterranean cruise that was beautiful. So I think that even I don't think it'll be for this pandemic, but I do think it's just healthier to not have other people touch the bananas and apples. I
agree with that.
And even
minimizes a lot of waste.
They don't keep that on the tables anymore. I like water king, but it's hard. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Typical.
It minimizes a lot of wastage too. I mean, I see people piling their plates, you know, and not touching any of it, you know, one mouthful and the plates are just left there with food on it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So maybe it'll just be different culturally a little bit. I know on Holland America that my understanding is they don't have really a self-serve buffet. Everything is servings. And like we've been to small areas on ships where they have little servings and plates, and I like it. I don't mind it. I think it's just something new to get used to.
Yeah.
So Larry is saying that they are still cruise virgins, but well traveled in Canada, back and forth across Canada numerous times. Unfortunately for Larry, every time they book a cruise, it gets cancelled. I think we're going to blame the whole thing on Larry.
Poor Larry. Cruise. Yeah, but Larry, you definitely, when it starts again, you have to cruise. You'll find it is really a vacation. So
there's what Larry says. He's already addicted to cruising.
Already.
Wow.
There you go.
He hasn't even gone on a ship and he's already addicted.
That's a good start, I guess.
Yep, go on.
Yeah, we've just got some comments about the buffet. And I'm sorry, Malcolm, I have to agree with you. I'm sorry on that. Oh, well, I'm not sorry on that one, but yeah, that's a gross generalization. But there are people who tend to go a little bit overboard, excuse the pun.
And Robert White is saying self-serve buffet is no problem, wearing a mask, no cruise for him. Well, you know what, Robert, it is what it is, you know. You've got to, I guess, from my way of thinking, you've got to do what you've got to do.
Would you go on a cruise if you had to wear a mask?
I think it would depend. To be honest, if you asked me 2 months ago, I said no 100%. Now I feel like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't mind doing something. So maybe, but being honest, I understand when people say that they don't want to wear a mask on vacation. It's not because I think that wearing a mask is bad. I wear one at work. I have from the very beginning of this. I work in childcare, so that was something. We were essential services. We were working the whole time. And Frank is in the food business, so he was working the whole time as well. And we've been wearing masks all the time. But I don't think it's really what I would want for a vacation. So I definitely understand when people say that. That being said, if I could cruise safely and wear a mask part of the time, I probably would.
Yeah.
Because I'm like you a little bit, Sean, that I think it kind of is what it is. In an ideal world, I don't want to wear a mask while I'm on vacation. But I'm clearly not in an ideal world right now.
Philip has a comment here. He says he's beginning to take up smoking so he doesn't have to wear the mask. Nice one, Philip.
Could we take a drinking?
I saw something on Facebook. There was a mask and it had a little flap, so you could either have a drink or a cigarette.
TJ from Sailing Away with TNK says he'll take the experimental vaccine, wear a mask and face shield to get on a cruise right now. Yep, mate, I'm behind you on that one.
I probably would if I could right now. You open a hazmat suit. That's so. I follow the whole vaccine coverage a lot, actually, like all of that. I think that that's really positive, but I don't think everybody needs to take the vaccine. I know some people are not pro-vaccines, or they worry about this one in particular maybe being made very quickly, but I think it's very positive for things to be able to move forward. The vaccine and therapeutics. So I think things this week we've heard really positive things, at least for like in the United States, and I think part of Europe, and it'll extend to Canada as well. So I'm sure it is all over the world, but I think it's good.
Malcolm saying that never need to wear a mask in New Zealand. Some do though.
Well, you've got like no cases, right? Like in New Zealand, you guys like had this.
Yeah, they locked themselves down totally. They shut everything off.
But then that was from a cruise, I think. They had about 4.
Yep.
Yeah, but very, very little. Yeah.
No, they did very well.
That is awesome.
TJ from Sailing Away with TNK says, just did a vacation in Gatlinburg with a mask on a majority of the time, wasn't a big deal.
Well, that's good. So maybe, it's just a matter of getting used to. And
it's just strange for us stepping out and seeing everybody now with masks on, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I've started to notice, I actually went through this about a week ago. I decided, like, when this became a rule that we have to wear them everywhere, because I've been wearing mostly surgical masks, because I have to wear a surgical mask at my work. And but I finally decided to buy the cute masks. I decided that if I'm going to have to wear a mask, I might as well have cute ones. So I ordered 10 cute ones that are locally made, and we'll pick them up on Sunday. And then I'll probably order more, and I'll order masks to go with my outfits, because that'll live.
Some of the groups like Us and More have got masks as part of their promo kits, so you can always buy them everywhere.
Logos, yeah. And this is a really interesting question, actually, from Us and More. Sorry.
Oops.
Oh, sorry about that. Us and More asked a really.
I'll get that in a
sorry about that.
Yep.
Good question about if you had to have a vaccination to get on a ship, would you? Wow, that's a good question.
I personally would, because I think the vaccine is going to be fine, but I know that's my personal opinion, and I don't have a problem that other people wouldn't want to have a vaccine. I do know, I heard actually Dr. Scott Gottlieb, who's the co-chair of the Healthy Sail Panel, and he was actually talking, and he is, if I'm not mistaken, he's on the board of Pfizer, the pharmaceutical company. So, or he was on the board. So he was actually talking in an interview, and it might have been with CNBC, and he said that they only really need 20 to 30% of the population of the United States, as an example. I think they were actually talking about the US, but they only need 20 to 30% of the population to actually take the vaccine, along with the amount of people that have had a natural immunity to this by the time that the vaccine comes out, to actually be very, very effective to pretty much eradicate the virus being around on the most part. And possibly there might be pockets in different places of the world, but that would be enough. So I don't think that cruise lines will make people take the vaccine.
Malcolm says that in New Zealand there have been 1,500 cases with 22 deaths. Currently 27 cases all have arrived from overseas.
So very small numbers there.
Yeah, and he's probably going to say they all came from Australia, knowing him.
I mean, it's still sad, even one person passing from this, so is very sad, but that is definitely in the scheme of things, that's a low number.
Yeah.
Back at the year.
Adventures of David and Aaron are saying, looking back on this year should make everyone be a lot more grateful and thankful for the things that we take for granted.
Well said.
Couldn't agree more.
That I agree. That is one thing that I have to say. I'm not a very big complainer, but I do sometimes, like everybody, I you know, like there might be a small thing that I'll be like a little bit annoyed. I don't think the next time I go on a cruise, I will not let one little thing bother me. Not another person on the ship, not anything.
That's it.
Everything will be perfect.
Puppy the Cat says, here in New Jersey, they've been mandatory masks since April the 8th.
That
It
is
is
a lot.
second nature now.
I didn't realize, and you're so close to us in New Jersey. We actually love to come to New Jersey in the summertime to shop because we have no sales tax on clothing.
Sailing Away with T&K says, the trick is finding the mask that works for you. He prefers the gator style mask and Kayla likes the mask the old Navy makes.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll tell you what.
Don't know what they are.
I will wear the mask that suits my outfit.
Yeah, there you go. We have to look fashionable.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a quick one here from us and more. Yes, we have masks in our Teespring store. That's good. Griswold, school will be so crazy this year.
Yes.
Well, we're having a crazy year with education here as well.
The kids started at school, then they were home doing online at home. They went back to school for about all of about 2 to 3 weeks. And now with this current shutdown, they're now back at home. So it's very topsy-turvy because our school year is from February to December.
Oh, wow.
We have our summer holidays, of course, in December over Christmas, New Year.
Yes.
Right.
Wow.
Well, so now in Victoria, they're back at home.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it'll be here. I mean, they're still talking about the fall. But that being said, I don't know. Like I worked
doesn't look like they're going back to school, the kids, right?
Maybe not. But I work in daycare, and I have to say, I don't really see why we have children that are, 2, 3, 4 years old that are all in daycare with zero distancing.
Yes.
And all the computers are there, and we have our masks and we have our goggles, and why schools can't adapt also, just because we're all adapting to this. Only because I do find there's some negative effects on children psychologically and not getting a lot of movement and socially. Like I've seen for a lot of children that things have been difficult and things have been difficult on families, and people do need to work. So it's just not an easy situation.
Absolutely. Malcolm is saying 50 years from now, this year's events will be a public.
Absolutely. We've got to remember the details of this one.
Yeah. Tammy Chaudhry's come on board. Hi, welcome, Tammy. Rachel asks a question. The question was, do we have any elephants in Australia? No, we don't have elephants in Australia or New Zealand. The elephants drowned before they got here. Let me see.
Just asking, what is your favourite animal to see in Australia?
Malcolm is going most from UK and India. That's interesting. That of those 1,500 that they got in New Zealand, that's interesting. I know what Malcolm's favourite animal in Australia is. Malcolm's favourite animal in Australia is the koala. Sorry, Larry.
Yeah.
Malcolm's favourite animal in Australia is me.
Oh.
All right, he won't pick on me.
I'm not even going to comment on that one.
Yeah, you did. Adventures of David and Aaron are going, Malcolm, you're absolutely right. The year 2020 will be very historic in the history books and in local pubs for quiz games.
Well, 2020 might actually be blank pages in a history book.
Now, Philip, you used to be a nice guy, right? Football has started and now must go and watch the Mighty Blues.
Thank you, Philip. That's well done. Correct.
Okay. Philip, see you later.
I have to put my beanie and scarf on for that one.
For those that are the moderators, please, no, don't do that. I'm not into the Aussie rules football. I'm into the rugby. That's my game. Larry's going, a great pastime for Canadians is going across border to shop.
It really is.
It is.
Yeah.
Even though there's a big difference in our currency.
Yeah,
Not
absolutely.
very good right now.
So what is the Canadian dollar to the US?
The exchange rate now is $1.34, I think.
So what would it be like if we had for $1 US? It's about 70 cents right now, maybe a little less.
Yeah, about 70
Yeah,
cents.
I guess you and us would be on close parity there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But
Absolutely.
honestly, and that does make cruises more expensive for us. We pay in Canadian dollars if we want to, because they do adjust the pricing, but it's at about a 30%. Yeah, I think it's at a 30% exchange rate generally. Sometimes it's even a little bit worse. But we did see, unfortunately, with when our dollar went down a few years ago in value, we did see obviously the prices for us for cruises did become more expensive. But it's not because cruises became more expensive; it's because of our dollar.
Hey, what do you guys feel about gratuities? Do the Canadians have the gratuities, or is it just a US thing, or is it just Aussies that don't do that?
Americans for that. Yeah, we don't like when we go to a restaurant, we automatically tip 15%. That's our minimum that we'll tip. And otherwise we tip 18% or 20% is otherwise usual. Our staff are actually taxed on an assumption of at least an 8% tip. So if they work in a restaurant, they're taxed, and so if people don't give them a tip, they're actually like paying money out of their own pocket. So yeah, just we always tip. It's like for us, it's cultural. We just do that. I don't know, and it doesn't bother me at all either. And we knew it when we went on our first cruise, so we just pay it, and we're always so appreciative of the service. So
I don't know if you're aware, but cruises for Australians out of Australia, the gratuities are built into the fare.
That makes sense, though. So
it's very transparent.
Yeah.
And we're not required to pay extra because it's just not part of our culture, because our service workers get paid a decent wage.
Yeah, we just have it differently. Like I wouldn't, like for me, I wouldn't consider it that the people who work in restaurants don't get paid. Like for us, they get paid very well because after tipping, they do get paid well. It's just that our way of having the income is the tipping is just
it's always in there, I think, and it's just
part of it. So we think of it, but I have no problem with the idea of it being built in either. I don't really, as long as they get paid, that is what I care about.
It doesn't mean that we don't tip, of course, but we will tip for for extraordinary service. And of course, when we're on a cruise, our cabin steward always, and our waiters in the dining rooms, and we're not big drinkers, so we don't really. Well,
and you wouldn't tip at a bar.
Bartender if we were to, but I'm just getting my, when I think of, say, going to the States, and I can only go by what I see in movies and TV shows, like someone opens the door for you, you have to give them a tip. Someone carries your luggage into the hotel, you have to give them a tip. Someone presses the button in the elevator. That's how it looks to us.
A little bit, but there's not that many people pressing buttons in elevators, though, so that's okay. But like when we get to the cruise port, we'll tip the porter, the person who takes the luggage and puts it into the luggage rack. So we have a few dollars ready to tip. And on our first cruise, the travel agent we dealt with let us know to have some single bills. When we go on an excursion, we always tip the bus driver, the people who are doing the excursion, unless they're not good. But otherwise, we just always have a few extra dollars with us. We don't tip immensely. We just
standard, whatever.
Yeah, but it's like you said, it's cultural, so it's not.
So Malcolm was saying that the Canadian dollar is very similar to the New Zealand and Aussie dollars, as we said. He also went on to say he was answering a question for Rachel Loves Disney, and Rachel was actually asking what's our favorite animal, and he was saying his favorite is Skippy. Tastes great, and it does. If ever you get the opportunity to have some kangaroo, it's quite a rare.
It's actually a very nice meat.
Yep.
Really? Yes.
And it's also very healthy as well.
It's very lean. It's quite a dark red meat, like almost like a venison. And you cook it sort of very, very rare.
Very rare.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's quite tough.
Would they serve it on a cruise in Australia?
No, we haven't seen it on a cruise.
Don't know.
Well, maybe they should though, if that's a local food.
Yep. But there's plenty of restaurants around that you can get it. Come to Melbourne, we'll take you to a nice steak restaurant.
So that would be considered kangaroo steak?
Yep.
You could order. Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Could get kangaroo steak. Absolutely.
Adventures of David and Aaron are saying we would wear a mask on vacation. David wears a scuba and snorkel mask. Why not add another one to the suitcase?
Correct.
Yep, I agree with that one.
Why not? You can have a different mask for every outfit, right?
There you go.
Correct.
Now,
and some diamantes and
Heather's been picking on the chicken nugget bird, the kiwi, and the kangaroos. So she's got hashtag chicken nugget bird. And I can tell you the last kiwi I told that was being called a chicken nugget bird got very upset and it got stuck in the middle of our logo. So be careful, Heather. You never know where you might get stuck. Let's see. Adventures of David and Aaron. In our city, if you're caught out in public without a mask, you're automatically cited by the police or a code enforcement, and you cannot enter any building unless you have a mask.
It's like that now here
in
too.
our situation, if you walk into a business, so you as the person walking in without the mask get fined $200. The business that's accepting you gets fined $1,600.
Oh my goodness! Wow. So, Aaron and David, where are you guys from?
We'll find out if they answer the question.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Let's have a look who else is in there. Everybody wants to come. Rachel's put out the question there. She wants to come and visit Australia. Who's going to come with her? And everybody's saying they want to come with. Goodness me. There was one that Malcolm had earlier on that I saw. Yeah, Larry was saying that he thought that Skippy was a peanut butter. Yeah, it's a bit more than just
that was my thought too, Larry. I thought
Skippy, the kangaroo.
Skippy, it was a TV show back in, I think, about the 60s. Skippy the bush kangaroo. It's a bit like Lassie.
No, I don't remember the TV show.
Lassie would bark and you would understand what Lassie would say. What's that, Lassie? Take me to the child who fell down the mine shaft. Skippy was the same.
Excuse me, I'm just going to get the drink. Yeah, peanut butter.
So that's what Malcolm just said. Skippy used to be an Australian TV program. It was about a kangaroo. Yep.
Yeah.
Of course, Blaine had to mention squirrel dumplings.
Yeah, no. Let's leave the squirrel dumplings out of it, please. Thank you. We've caught up in the chat. So, folks, we've gone an hour and almost 20 minutes.
Which is great.
I haven't visited anybody for this long.
We have not either. Do you know, we have not. We were planning to go to a restaurant, I think 2 weeks ago, and our friends had asked us if we wanted to go, and like there are rules to it, and it was going to be at an outside terrace, and it just didn't work out. My friend ended up not feeling well, so we didn't go. And in the end, we are going to their house tomorrow where we'll go outside. We'll sit out for dinner, but we really haven't done much at all. It's such a weird summer for us. I don't know if other people are finding that they are going out to restaurants or maybe traveling locally.
So we're finding that with some of the groups on the chat that are in here, they've been going out. What we can't get is that they're going away because we can't go anywhere. So we're having a lot of interesting discussions going on.
Well,
yeah, it's different everywhere.
Well, we do Friday night dinners, and so we've been not being able to get together on our Friday night dinner with the whole family, so we've been Zooming. So we Zoom our Friday night dinners so that we get together and touch base with everybody, which is nice.
So for your family, you still cannot get together? You're still not allowed to have
No. We could for a while. It was allowed 5 people were allowed to gather.
And then it went up to 20.
That worked fine. Sean, myself, and David would go to Sean's parents just up the road. We would have Friday night dinner together.
Yeah.
But now, since 2-3 weeks now, since this further shutdown,
oh gosh, okay,
we're back in our own homes. So we're all Zoom. 7 p.m. on Friday night, we settle down for dinner and we get the cameras out, the phones, and Zoom.
Wow. Thank goodness for technology.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Amazing. Yeah.
And because our family is so diverse, my niece recently married a young bloke whose family is from Israel, so they join in on the chat occasionally.
Oh, wow.
We had my cousins in from South Africa, and then we had one of my brother-in-law's family members jot in as well. So we're from all around the world.
That's awesome.
Larry said they rented a travel trailer and they're going camping locally on Monday for 3 days.
Oh, that'd be
Good to have a getaway.
Yeah.
That'd be beautiful. And Malcolm's saying we can fly domestically now. Probably
No, we can't.
Without Victoria included.
Yeah, well, they
Or
do.
the borders are still
Unless
closed.
you go for work, and that's the only reason why you fly.
Okay.
But,
Even domestically.
yeah. But it's very, very tough. We've just Qantas has just said goodbye to all its 747 jumbos. They're now sitting in Nevada somewhere, and they're at the plane graveyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last one flew out yesterday. It was quite sad. It was a great plane to fly on.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's our fun. Well, folks, we've hit about the hour and 20 minutes. It's time for us to bring a close to our live chat.
So we can go and have our brunch.
So we can eat.
Life Well Cruised. Thank you so
having us.
much for
Thank you for
joining
having
us.
us.
Thank you.
I'd like to let everybody know that, Ilana, your vlogs are fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
For everyone to tune into your vlogs and read all your cruise tips and points. And
anybody who hasn't, go and visit their, become one of their friends on their channel. And have a look, see.
Hashtag creators, by the way, so that we can all
yes,
see
folks,
who you
hashtag
are.
creator, please. Anybody's creator puts hashtag creator so we can all pick and choose and see who we haven't got.
Please do, so that we can follow you, and if you haven't done so.
Yep. So thank you for joining us, Ilana and Frank. Hopefully we can meet under other circumstances on a cruise somewhere.
Absolutely. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And very much thank you for having us. And we really loved chatting with you guys and your audience.
Terrific. So have a very pleasant Friday evening. You're heading into Saturday soon.
Thank you, Malcolm, for
Yeah, we are. It's almost 11:30 at night. Yeah, but we're still
cruise. Sorry, excuse me. You've got some sheets dropped off at your place.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. They've dropped some off it.
Check your numbers. You've got a few extra sheets.
Okay, thank you. That's awesome. Thank you, guys.
So bye all. Good day from Down Under. Thank you to our guests. It was lovely having you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye. Thanks so much.
And take care,
all.
folks. Have an awesome day,
Be well,
night,
be
evening.
safe.
Those across the ditch, have a good time. Those across the pond, enjoy your evening sleep. Take care.
And we'll go and put our masks back on.
Oh, yes, we've got to do that.
Venture out
Because we're
into
venturing
the,
out. Yep.
venture out the door.
Oh, there you go.
It's us eating as well, so.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye from her.
And it's bye from him.